Hey, we're going to get physical with you this hour. Welcome back to the program. David Snow on your radio. Welcome back to our New Year's edition of the program. Here in studio with the host of America's #1 television fitness program, Bodies in Motion, seen on Fit TV and seen around the world and, of course, everywhere in the universe. And we have the Honorable Gilad from Fit TV's Bodies in Motion. Good morning, Gilad. How the health are you?
Good morning, Dr. Snow. How are you?
Hey, thanks for that annual honorary degree. But hey, before we get into our serious stuff, I got a question for you. Do you know what day of the week is the most popular day to make a New Year's resolution, New Year's health resolution?
I would say it's probably a Monday.
No, it's someday.
Someday. Got it.
And that's the problem. That's
Someday.
why people have to make resolutions every year, right, at this time,
Right.
is because they always put it off.
Someday those resolutions will come true.
If they get rid of the some days and start doing today's. And so tell us, for people listening, many of our listeners out there want to be more physically fit this year than they were last. So tell us about some easy to make resolutions, realistic resolutions, because that's really where people drop the ball as they make, they want to be like people like you on TV or people on the magazine covers.
Yeah, I think that's the mistake that most people do is they try to compare themselves and say, I would like to look like, the magazine covers. I would like to look like somebody that's sort of like out of reach for them. I think everybody has to be aware of what he was gifted with, his own, personal, physical.
That's right. Attributes.
Emotional, mental, whatever gift that he has in this lifetime, and try to be the best you can be for who you are. Comparing yourself to someone else is probably the worst thing you can do, and probably the biggest hurdle you're putting in front of you.
That's for sure.
I think the idea is to be the best that you can be. If your goal is to get fitter and healthier, you have to start with small steps. Not make these big, huge goals, but start with small steps and make them sustainable in your lifestyle. So, for example, if you want to lose 20 pounds for the new year or 50 pounds, whatever it is, I would say, take a step-by-step approach. Don't try to do it all at once. Do a program that you find easy to follow. So if you are a person that likes to exercise or is full of energy in the morning, then you try to squeeze it in the morning. If your energy is better in the afternoon or in the evening, then you work out in the evening. Don't try to do something that's against your natural flow. And I think that's very important.
I think so too, yeah. Like, for instance, abs. I want abs.
You want abs?
Absolutely, all the cookies in the bag.
That's not going to get you where you are.
Oh,
although
shucks.
You have nothing to worry about. You have, you can gain a few pounds.
That's my problem. The opposite of most people that want to lose weight at this time of the year. I'm wanting to gain. Although I don't want to gain fat weight, of course.
No, they want to gain muscle. Of course, healthy
muscle.
weight.
But I guess I'll have to.
It's tough to gain muscle weight.
Oh,
it's not easy.
It's
people
hard.
don't realize, but if you're trying to gain weight, it can be just as difficult as trying to lose weight.
Oh, more so.
And
I mean, I used to be fat. I don't know if you remember how I got into health in the first place. I used to be the fattest kid in my class all through school up until, 6th, 7th grade.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, and people don't believe me now because I'm, thin as a rail, but...
I wouldn't believe it either. Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah. Okay. So on the note of small steps, I have something that's easy to follow, guaranteed, and I want you to be the first recipient of it this year. Excuse me. And
I'm
getting it out of my bag.
You're pulling something out of your bag, and I'm starting to get a little scared.
It's a wooden block, and you can read it to the audience. Okay. It's actually an exercise block, and here you can read that.
Let's see. Place block on the floor. There's a very small block.
It's about 4 inches by 8 inches.
4 inches by 8 inches.
It's a 2 by 4.
Place the block on the floor, walk around it twice, sit down and relax. Congratulations. You have just walked around the block twice. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is along the lines of what you're saying.
Well, I guess that's the first step, So you take the first few steps around this little block, and then you go for the real block.
Okay,
Okay.
beginning of a long journey is always with the first
Very
step,
sweet.
right?
That's very
Okay.
fun. That's very funny.
Okay, we'll put that exercise block in front of us.
But that's a cool idea.
Isn't that, I got this from a mail order catalog, and I thought, you know what, it's
And where did you find this block?
it was in some mail order catalog that I got,
I see.
and so it's one of my many props, as you know. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
prop man. So let's get back. Now, you were mentioning "Be the best you can be." Isn't that a U.S. Army slogan or one of the military branches of the service?
Yeah, but you know what? I believe
think-
I have heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which is a great slogan to go by. And so, the first two tips for our listeners from you: be the best you can be, and then take small steps.
Take small steps. Absolutely.
Do little.
Yeah. Sustainable steps. In
Yeah,
other words,
okay.
do something that you can comfortably fit into your schedule, and do something that you know that you can continue doing, so it doesn't, you don't overtax yourself or overdo it when you're just starting out, because that can be very frustrating.
And you
one
can
of the main
cause
reasons that people
injuries.
quit
Yeah, right.
is they go, I can't do this. I can do it 3 times, but I can't continue this on a regular basis.
And, both of us go to the gym on a regular basis, but by the same token, a lot of people join the gym at this time of the year. This is when most of the signups, of course, are. And you can damage your ego as much as you can damage your muscles, and you can injure your ego, I should say, as much, and be intimidated as much as you can induce physical injuries from
Absolutely. And,
overdoing
it's
it.
an interesting point about the intimidation, because you might look at someone who's really fit and say, wow, I'm intimidated because look at him.
Exactly.
And you don't know what's going on in his head. He might be intimidated by something that else, you see. So
Right.
that's why I'm saying, if you compare yourself to someone else, it's not a good idea, because you're setting yourself for failure.
right.
You have to be the best that you can be.
Do you have
because-
a video on along those lines? Do you have some like a beginner's workout for
Yeah, we do, of
people at
course.
this
We
time of
have,
the year?
yeah, at our, people can go to my website.
You have a zillion videos, for goodness
We
sake.
have quite a few to choose from. I have anything from beginner, from very, very beginner,
Okay.
all the way to people who want to do cross training and combine cardio with toning. They can look it up on my website. Shall we give it?
Gilad
Yeah, it's Gilad,
TV,
it's
is it?
Gilad.tv.
Okay, I remembered
Yeah.
it. I took my
Gilad.tv.
Prevagen, my memory pills. So if people want to give themselves a good present for the new year, that would be a good one.
That would be a great one. We actually have a program on TV right now that we're starting, and we're giving up a couple of free items as well with it. It's called, 60-Day Challenge Ultimate You.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, and we have quite a few people on it, and it's a little community, and you can, join on Facebook, and
Wow.
it's like a support system. And
Okay.
I'm checking it out to see how people are improving on a regular basis. And we have my
Excellent.
staff at the office also. We kind of, interact with the people, and it's a wonderful little program, because it people write what they did for the workout, what they did today, what they're going to do tomorrow, and it's all laid out for you. So it's basically 9 DVDs. And you don't repeat another DVD for 2 weeks.
Ah,
And it's
so
every
it's
workout is
variety.
completely different than the other.
I see.
And we take into consideration everything: toning, strength training, cardio, and stretching.
And stretching. Okay, all the components of a good fitness program. And I remember Jack LaLanne used to say, always change it up every month. Don't do anything more than 30 days in the same way.
Absolutely,
Change it
yeah. In other words, don't do the same workout for more than 30 days.
Right.
What we're doing with the Ultimate You is we're offering 9 different workouts. Each one is different. So, in essence, if you
good.
do it, you probably get to do it maybe twice and a half every month, or twice, maybe 3 times a month through the program. So you don't get used to any one of those workouts.
Now that's on one video or one series
No,
of
it's
videos?
9 different DVDs.
Oh, okay, so nine
Yeah.
different, okay. Would you be willing, I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but would you be willing
I
to
would.
maybe...
I would be willing, yes. I don't even know what you're going to say, but I'm willing.
That's what I like about you, Gilad. You're a good sport.
Yes.
Maybe giving Dr. Health Radio listeners a couple, and we'll give it out during the
Absolutely.
upcoming months.
Of
in
course,
the
yes.
first part of the year.
Yes, and it comes with a,
Great.
like a bottled protein shaker that
Oh,
you can
really?
get a
Oh,
juice
cool.
or whatever your favorite drink is on the way.
Excellent.
It's a healthy drink.
Okay.
And it also comes with my Eat Right Now plan, which is basic,
I like to eat right now.
Yeah, eat right now.
I don't want to eat later. I want to eat right now.
That's the whole idea. Don't be hungry.
Okay.
Don't be hungry. Eat right.
No.
Which could be eat right the right way now.
No. Okay.
And also eat right now when you're hungry. So
Gotcha.
it means two things, because I think a lot of people have the idea that in order to lose weight, you have to starve yourself. And a lot of people still think that way.
Well, I always follow Miss Piggy's advice. Have you heard of Miss Piggy's advice? Yeah. Never eat more than you can lift.
Okay.
Huh? Gotcha.
Okay, that would be interesting to see somebody
On
do
that note, and speaking of Jack LaLanne, we're having Elaine LaLanne on after the bottom of the hour break.
I love Elaine. I know her, and as a matter of fact, just spoke with her about 2.5 weeks ago.
Great.
And I'm looking forward to talking to
All
her.
right. Okay, we'll have Elaine LaLanne along with Gilad in the studio here, the host of America's #1 television fitness show, Bodies in Motion. We'll give out his website again and be back with more information for your good physical health, physical fitness health here on Dr. Health. I'm David Snow here on Dr. Health Radio. Don't go anywhere if you want to stay healthy. Back right after this as Dr. Health continues.
How do you do, everybody? This is your personal physical instructor and friend, Jack LaLanne. You know, my first exercise I want you to do, make sure that every Saturday you tune in Dr. Health Radio Show with David Snow. Don't forget that now, right?
Snow.
It is David Snow on your radio. Welcome back to the program. Well, you recognize that voice. If you're any age over 40, you recognize the voice of Jack LaLanne, and we are privileged to have Elaine LaLanne and son John LaLanne on the program, along with Gilad in studio here at our New Year's fitness show here on Dr. Health Radio, and we welcome you back to the program. It is the original Cure for the Common radio show. Nothing common about our guests. They are uncommonly fit, and we welcome. We, of course, had welcomed Gilad earlier, but now we welcome Elaine LaLanne and John LaLanne to the show, the Queen of Fitness in America. Elaine, hello. Good morning. Aloha.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's only the second day of the year, and a lot of people want to put their New Year's resolutions in place. Among those fitness resolutions, about 60-70% of all resolutions are health-related, and a lot of those are fitness-related. Now, I know you guys don't really need to make resolutions, do you? Or do you? Let's put you on the spot. Do you have any resolutions that you're making?
Well, I just keep on keeping on. You know, I'm going to be 90 years old, and so in March, and so I've just got to keep on keeping on, and I'm still doing my exercises, and that's my every year is my New Year's resolution. Keep on keeping on.
That's great, Elaine.
I made a New Year's resolution to learn the new operating system, and then they changed it on me.
Yeah, you're obviously you're just a youngster, John. That's for sure.
Yes.
Now, Elaine, let's get back to you. You're going to be 90 in March. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
My gosh, and
she sounds like a teenager.
I know.
Well, I still am.
You still look like one too.
You should see her run around the office. It's a madhouse. From 9 to 5, it's a madhouse in there.
Well, but John, I don't leave at 5, do I?
No, you don't. She stays till 7, sometimes till 9.
Yeah. Well, Elaine's always been the turbo in the family.
The turbo, I like that. I always used to call her the spark plug, but I like turbo better. Okay, Elaine the turbo.
Yes.
Well, John and I have been working on. We've been working on Jack's autobiography, or we don't know whether we call it Jack's Journal. John said we should call it Jack LaLanne 101.
Right.
In honor of his 101st birthday.
Which will be in September. Yeah, this September 26th, I believe.
It'll be 102.
Oh, 102, okay.
But we're writing it in honor of his 101st because we missed this 100th. And what we're doing is we're taking Dad's, what he spoke out, on audio tape, and the stories are incredible. It's only one chapter is like a movie. The things that he's been through, the things he's endured, and the accomplishments that he's achieved are just mind-blowing to me because I'm learning more and more about him. You don't know your parents until they speak out their life, right? Because I wasn't there when he was young. So I'm finding out things that I've never known before, and it's just, to me, it's exciting. And when you know your own parents' autobiography gets exciting, it'll be exciting for someone else to read.
Absolutely.
Right?
Now, what's happening with the juicer? Let's shift gears from fitness to nutrition. Now, you're world famous for the Jack LaLanne juicers. Aren't you coming out with a new model, or did you already come out with it?
Yes, we have the Jack LaLanne Fusion juicer.
Fusion.
So,
Okay.
and you can find it in Walmart and you can find it online.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called the Jack LaLanne new Fusion juicer, and it's a lot more affordable, and it's easy to use, easy to clean, right, John?
And yes, and you can take them in RVs or a smaller personal type of juicer, although you can use them for your family, but they have 2 speeds. One's a little slower, so certain vegetables you don't want to burn the vitamins. You can slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can speed it up. It's light, very easy to clean.
Now, one thing that just popped into my head, why don't you have a hand juicer where you really have to crank and use your biceps and muscles?
We have one. We have our orange press. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the olden days. You know, Jack. That's how Jack started juicing when he was a teenager.
Oh, really? He had the hand juicer.
They had those presses, you know, and then he would press them.
I venture to say that Jack was able to get more juice out of an orange than most people because he was stronger.
Yeah.
He could put
true.
more muscle into it. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Now, let's put Gilad on the spot. Gilad, are you a juicer? I mean, do you
Absolutely.
juice?
As a matter of fact, I do have the Jack LaLanne juicer at home.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
And I'll tell you, I just want to throw in a personal story here with Jack, since we have
Sure.
both John and Elaine online, is that in 1982, when I was starting to think about my fitness show, I was a guest on Jack LaLanne's show back in L.A.
right.
And I met him and Elaine back then.
Wow.
And Jack was, hosting me on his show. And after the show, he said, you are going to have your own show.
Wow.
To me. And that was so inspiring to
prescient.
me at the time, because Jack LaLanne, here we have this family on the line, is a legend. And sometimes they compare me to Jack LaLanne, and I'm humbled by that comparison, because
sure.
to me he was the ultimate of what somebody can accomplish,
Yes.
not only in fitness for himself, but to reach out to other people and motivate other people to reach their best.
Yes, absolutely.
And being compared to him was like, it brings tears to my eyes that I'm even in that category,
Right.
because I don't consider myself
Oh,
in
you
that
are.
category.
He loved you, Gilad, and he always said, "That's the man." He really.
Yeah.
he
Let me
really,
tell you my story.
Well, he was
I'm
the
in
godfather
Malibu,
of fitness. Yeah.
Gilad, let me tell you about how I came upon you.
Okay.
I had all of these boring exercise shows on after Dad. These shows are so boring. What happened? And all of a sudden, I see you come on the air, and I go, "This guy's like Dad, but on steroids." He's really. You were one of the only people. I mean, we love Denise Austin. She has a different.
Yes,
Oh
she's
yeah,
great.
we love
Your
Denise
style
Austin.
is so similar to Dad.
Denise and Gilad were his.
Yes.
Yeah.
course,
Denise
love
is the
Richard
female
Simmons,
counterpart to Gilad. Yeah.
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 No, I'll tell you, the love that Jack had for people
That's right.
and the passion that he had for what he's doing is mind-boggling.
He was in a class of one.
Yeah,
he was.
absolutely.
And for our younger listeners that are out there, because not everybody, used to. I mean, not everybody grew up with Jack LaLanne, although a lot of actually 2 or 3 generations did. But he was the godfather of fitness, and
the ability. Think of it, the ability to touch so many people, so many people's lives, because you don't know who you're reaching out there.
That's right.
And Jack had a TV show for 30-some years.
34. Yeah.
And
34, yeah.
when you do a fitness class in a studio, you know who your clients are. You can talk to them. Here you're reaching people that would never show up to a studio, would never come to a gym.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in their personal lives. And
Yeah,
the
he's changed a lot of people's lives. I'll tell you that we've got so many.
Well, maybe the Obamas are listening right now to our show, and they're going to buy your videos, going to buy Jack's videos as a result of this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have the videos on our JackLaLanne.com. All those videos. We have 10 volumes of them. There's 5.
We have bobbleheads too.
Yeah,
We gotta
we
get
have
your
5
bobblehead.
volumes of. 10 volumes, but and there's 5 on one volume, so that's 50 shows.
Wow.
But you can also see them on. You can see them on Roku. They stream them on Roku, and then they also have them on MeTV. If you can get MeTV online.
Okay.
And
Yes,
then you
can see the documentary on Roku. So anybody that's not familiar with Dad, they can go on Roku and see the documentary that we put out, And it has everybody in it. It's got Oprah and Regis and all of the people that shows that he appeared on, and the power that he had, and the people that he reached at that time. He literally saved a rich nation from poor health.
Yeah.
And everybody changed, and I look at people my age now, and they're all in a little better shape than they were back in the 50s. Right, because of this message that got out in the 70s and 60s.
And
50s.
And so are their parents, and so are their grandchildren.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people? Go ahead.
And think about it, in Jack LaLanne's heydays in the 50s and 60s.
We didn't put it out. Actually, TriStar, the juicer, who produced the juicer, they produced this show. So it's not us. We probably would have had we would have had Gilad on it.
Okay, Gilad.
Yeah, I was just going to say
the truth, but we didn't have that.
Elaine, Gilad wanted to share something regarding that.
Back in Jack LaLanne's heyday when he was promoting fitness in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Right.
Think about it back then. Today, everybody's working out. You go to the parks, they're full.
Exactly.
You go to the mountains and the hikes are full. The gyms are full. A lot of people have gotten the message. There's still a lot of people to reach. But think about Jack LaLanne in his day, where he was sort of like...
He was an oddball.
An
outcast.
oddball. An oddball, because he was promoting what we are promoting today, and we're seeing the results of what he planted back then is now mushrooming through the people that you see, making fitness and health a part of their lives.
He was a health futurist. I mean, he
That's
saw...
right. He saw the future. And a lot of people don't know that the reason he knew so much about the body, that he was a chiropractor.
That's right, yes. He was Dr. LaLanne, yeah.
He never practiced it because he had to work with the MDs, and he had a lot of back patients from the MDs in those days.
Oh, right.
So, but he knew the body backwards, forwards, and sideways because as a teenager, he got a Grey's Anatomy, and that's how it all started. After he was a weak, sick kid, and that's all it's all going to be in our
in the book. Okay.
The book, right.
Now, Gilad, before the show, he was talking about the fact that he called you, Elaine, a couple weeks ago about the Hall of Fame. Tell us about that.
The Jack LaLanne Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Well, you mean which Hall of Fame?
Well,
there's
a lot of Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Elaine, we were actually talking about the National Fitness Hall of Fame.
Oh, the National because John and I just came from the California Hall of Fame, where he was inducted in 2008. So yes, Gilad and I talked about the national. Gilad is very involved in that. So Gilad, why don't you tell him about it?
Well, the National Fitness Hall of Fame is an organization that is sort of compiling all the history of fitness together in the United States, and honoring some of the legends of fitness.
Schwarzenegger, I'm sure, being one of them.
LaLanne, a lot of big names.
Joe Weider,
right,
a lot of big names you'll find there.
And,
Gilad.
Gilad, yes.
I was inducted in 2007.
Oh, congratulations.
And they have different categories, organizational fitness, TV shows, personal trainers, things like that. And of course, Elaine and I were talking about the how to promote it and how to help reach more people with it.
Absolutely. We need to take one last break of the hour, folks. And when we come back, we have more information for your good physical fitness health here on Dr. Health with our special edition of the program today, a day after New Year's. Time to make those New Year's fitness resolutions with Gilad in studio, the host of America's #1 television fitness show, Bodies in Motion. That's heard on Fit TV, right? Discovery Channel?
It was, till this year.
Oh, till this year, okay.
Yeah, now on the mainland we're on JLTV.
JLTV, okay.
In Hawaii, it's unless you have Dish, you can't get it.
Oh, okay, Dish TV, okay.
Yeah, but...
all right, but you can get all the videos, and we'll give out your website one more time. And, of course, we're privileged and honored to have Elaine LaLanne, the Queen of Fitness in America, as well as her great son, John LaLanne, who is a resident of the Big Island here in Hawaii. So he's calling in from
a big surfer, I think.
Big surfer, surfboard shaper, yeah. What is it, lalaboards.com, John?
Lala surfboards, but I'm actually going to change. I'm the artist formerly known as Lala. I'm going to be John LaLanne now.
Oh, okay, John LaLanne.
Yes.
All right, we will be back with more information for your good health right after this. So don't go anywhere if you want to stay healthy. You're listening to the healthiest 2 hours on radio here on AM 690 KHNR. Welcome back to Lifestyles of the Fit and Healthy here, where we are fit and healthy with our fit and healthy guests. In studio with me, Gilad from Fit TV's Bodies in Motion. Also on our phone conference line to Central California, I should say, is Elaine LaLanne, the Queen of Fitness in America, and along with her son John from the Big Island of Hawaii, also on our phone conference line here on Dr. Health Radio. Welcome back to all of you. Now, let's get our guests Elaine and John on. Can you give us a fitness tip of the week or kind of a fitness tip of the month for New Year's fitness resolutions? Elaine, let's start with you.
Well, you know what? One of the exercises that I like, and it gets not only your stomach muscles, but your back, your gluteus and maximus and minimus. I like to get on my knees, and then I bring my knee into my chest.
Okay.
And then I it's called Jack used to call them donkey kicks.
Oh yes, the donkey kicks.
But we don't want you to kick. We want you to do. You want to when you're doing exercises, you want to make sure you always make smooth movements. You don't want to jerk. You don't want to jerk any movement.
And you don't want to twist and do something to throw out your back.
Remember, resistance is the key.
Right.
So I bring my knee into my chest, and then I bring it, I bring it back way up. It's hard. It's hard to explain it, but it's kind of a donkey kick. Is what we call it.
Okay, donkey kicks
into your chest, and then lift it way up to the back.
Now, during the break, Gilad was talking about his Lord of the Abs video, and he's talking about core fitness. So let's bring him on. What about a tip for core fitness? Everybody wants abs. That's one of the vanity muscles, the ones that show first.
That's right. And if you think about it from the perspective of fitness, right, what connects your upper body to your lower body is your core.
Right.
So every movement that you do, whether it's in a sport, in a basketball, if it's throwing the discus, if it's football, whatever it is, you're using your lower body, your upper body, and it all goes through the core, because it translates either from the legs up to the arms or from the arms down toward the legs.
You're talking about energy.
Energy-wise, the way the movement is constructed in different sports. So the core is always like the most important. If you have a strong core, everything else will fall into place. So with Lord of the Abs, we took that into consideration. So we made it a core-based workout, but you work also the entire body, and you get your cardio.
Now, during the break, you said that you would supply me with one of the Lord of the Abs videos.
David, I'm gonna give you my entire stock of DVDs, and you can do whatever you want with them.
No, I just want to personally try the abs because I have a low enough body fat percentage to show where my abs would show if I really work them out.
Absolutely, and like I said to you, if you give it 4 weeks, you're guaranteed. Even if you're very fit and if you're already in good shape, you will see results and you will see a change.
Wow, I'm all for that. Yeah, and since I have a face for radio, at least maybe I'll have abs for TV.
Your core is most important. I've got a good core, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
I see that.
I can still do push-ups in full body ones.
Wow, full body push-ups at 90 years old. Hooray for you, Elaine.
I do them at the IDEA convention every year.
Now,
Elaine, I have to have you. If we're doing more shows, we have to have you on
as a guest. Yeah, that would be great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about surfing, because John is big into surfing. He's a surfboard shaper. John, surfing is also a core sport, isn't it?
It is. And it's also a sport that a lot of guys won't do if the waves aren't good.
Right.
And I encourage everybody to get out there even when the waves are bad, because it not only does it, if you can ride a small wave, you're just getting out there, just getting your endorphins pumping. And I encourage surfers to buy maybe a board for those conditions, so you can get out all the time, or a longboard. You don't want to lapse in your surfing. You want to get out as much as possible. Plus, you don't get a lot of waves when you're out there as it is, because it's a limited commodity.
Right.
But I have a different perspective on this whole thing. I want to tell a quick story. I had one of my goddaughters come out with one of her friends, and she was a very beautiful girl, and she was just a little bit overweight. And I didn't want to upset her, offend her. I just told her, I said, you can do this. You can lose this weight. It's not that difficult. And you're young. You just got to start trying to try. Just try one day, you'll fail. Try the next, you'll fail. And just keep trying. I just saw her. She's lost like 40 pounds.
Whoa.
She is gorgeous, and she took my advice, and she did it. And I was just so happy that I actually had that effect on someone.
Absolutely.
And I got her to do it. And so this is a lifestyle change. And you're talking about tips for keeping in shape, but there's also the people out there that aren't even doing anything. So I'd like to encourage everybody for the new year to just start trying to try. Right?
Okay.
At least try. And then you'll get better and better and better.
And we should mention, speaking of surfing, that stand-up paddleboarding is a huge core exercise. I mean, you really feel it when you're stand-up paddleboarding in your core. So,
absolutely.
That might be a good alternative when the waves are not breaking. If they're not big, and the surfers can revert to that. In fact, my relatives on the North Shore do that all the time.
Yeah, they can do it all across the United States. There's lakes, there's bodies of water.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Now, maybe you should
try. Jack used to put it up on television, TRY, and he said, if you try, you find the real you.
Oh, that's really good. And here's another quote of the week, and this has to do with going after your fitness regimen and going after being more physically fit. If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. I thought that was a good quote.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's our quote of the week, officially.
Very well played, David.
If I could just say,
Yes.
I love that quote that Elaine just gave from Jack. Try means you'll find the real you.
The real you. It's an
you know
acronym.
what? It is so true, because what happens is, through the process of trying and then succeeding a little bit and then moving to the next step and the next step, you really, really do dig deep into yourself, not just physically, but also emotionally, spiritually, and you really, really find out who you are.
That's right.
And physical fitness or being physical really helps your spiritual
it's an
life
extension
as well.
of your spirit and your soul and your emotions.
Yeah.
It really, really is. And not only is it an extension of it, but it can also help you on days that you don't feel great.
Yeah, and everybody has those days.
No one ever went to did a workout and said, I shouldn't have done it.
Right.
You know?
I like the sign I saw in front of, or it was in some magazine. It says, "You'll never see a motorcycle in front of a psychiatrist's office," or I mean, if you really get out there and do something, besides. I mean, just whatever sport, whatever fitness,
whatever
movement,
sport, whatever movement
you
do.
The research on depression, they found that depression or that exercise is more effective than prescription drugs for depression.
Absolutely.
Well, Jack had a lot of one-liners,
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Exercise is king, nutrition's queen. Put them together, and you got a kingdom.
You got a kingdom, yeah. And actually, that's a perfect segue, Elaine, into announcing. I forgot to mention this earlier in our discussion, and that is next hour. Danielle Brooks is our guest, and she's going to join us to help you realize real weight loss resolutions, or if you're making New Year's diet resolutions. She's the author of Good Decisions Most of the Time, because life is too short not to eat chocolate. That's her subtitle. Anyway, but
before we leave, I'd like to ask Gilad to say about his core exercises. I think we got kind of lost. You do have a DVD on it, is that right?
It's actually, Elaine, it's a series of 5 DVDs, broken into workouts that range from 40 minutes to 1 hour. And it basically focuses on cardio, that is more like functional moves that get your heart rate going, but they're all core based. In other words, we're always using the core.
Right, and you can get them through your website?
Through my website, yes.
Which is? Give it again for people tuning in late.
www.gilad.tv.
And his name is spelled Gilad.
JackLaLanne.com,
Yes.
For all our DVDs.
Yeah. That was my next question, Elaine. I was just going to ask you Jack's or your website, and of course it's JackLaLanne.com. And you can see.
And then John's for the surfboard department.
For exercise.
I also have a blender too. We were born
Really?
and raised by the blender. Well, most people were. Well, not only did we juice, we blended.
Oh,
and
okay.
Dad was one of the pioneers of protein powder. That's another story
right.
for another show. So with that, I have a little Chef LaLanne site, and I'm going to be selling some healthy lifestyle products.
Oh, good.
And
okay.
the blenders are just as important as the juicer. And Gilad, once again, you, my friend, are such an inspiration.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thank you to both of you for being there, Elaine and John LaLanne. And again, jacklalaine.com for any of the fitness videos or associated products that we have talked about over the last hour. Thanks so much, guys, for being with us.
Thank you, David.
All right,
thank you
there
very
goes
much.
Okay.
Elaine and John LaLanne. And Gilad, I can't thank you enough. Same time next year?
Same time next year.
We've been doing this
Let's
for
just keep on
over
going.
a decade,
Yes.
well over a decade now, and we'd love to have you on as our first guest of the year. And, of course, maybe in May for National Physical Fitness and Sports Month, which we often have you on for that.
Yeah.
By the way, are you doing any local events in the coming year? I
do the March of Dimes.
March of Dimes.
I'm always doing the warm-up there.
What month is that?
That's in April, usually.
Okay, we'll announce that for you. Just give us a notice.
This year, I'm not really sure yet what I'm going to be doing as far as locally, promotion and things like that, or workouts. But we always announce it on our website, and I'm sure you'll be kind enough to.
Of course, always. And I'll let you know, or I'll let the audience know about the progress I make with your Lord of the Abs video.
Yes.
I'm on record as having to start that, so I'm committed. That's another tip that people can give is to share with their loved ones and friends what they're going to do, and then they seem more committed, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
think what a wonderful gift to give someone is the gift of fitness, or the gift of getting them started.
Yes.
And I want to say one more word about
Sure.
the step-by-step approach that we talked about. And I think that many times everybody has issues in their lives and excuses why not to do something. And taking that first step, like John was saying about the surfing, trying and trying and trying until you succeed. Taking that first step is always the hardest, not just on your first day or the first year or the first workout. It's every time you go for the workout, you always have that little devil in you saying, no, rest on the couch.
Yeah.
You need to rest today.
Yeah.
You need to take a break from this. You don't need to do this. And if you can take control of that little voice inside of you that resists, then you are on your way. And you'll never be sorry that you took that step, because the endorphins will come into your body and it'll change your whole mood, it'll change your attitude, it'll change you physically, and get you into better health.
Truer words were never spoken. Thank you so much, Gilad. You're always the best.